I wanted to start with the migrant crisis in Europe. Has Hungary avoided the problems that other countries like Germany and Italy have run into? They've been hit with wave after wave of immigrants, pretty much disrupting their societies.
Well, actually, we made it very clear from the beginning that we are not ready to receive any illegal migrants on the territory of our own country. And we made it very clear that it is only the Hungarians who can make a decision whom we allow to come to the territory of our country and whom we do not allow to come. And it is only us Hungarians to make a decision with whom we would like to live together and with whom not. And that's why we have been protecting our border from the very first moment. We have built fence, a very long one. We are protecting 550 kilometers of external border of both European Union and Schengen area. And we made it very clear that there's only one way to come to Hungary, which is the legal way, through the official border crossing points with the appropriate documentation during opening hours, period. And some other European countries unfortunately got stuck into hypocrisy and political correctness, and now the consequences are very clear. If you look back for the last 3 years of European history, you will see that 29 major terrorist attacks have been committed, killing more than 330 persons, causing injuries to an additional 1,300. And this is a clear outcome of the migration crisis, because imagine there were around 1.5 million people entering the territory of the European Union without any kind of control, without any kind of check. So this is a clear outcome. We made it very clear from the very beginning that illegal migration is a security issue. It's a huge security threat posed on the European Union. That's why we think that the protection of the external border of the European Union is the #1 issue.
In the West, critics of migration are often called racist and cruel. I'm guessing that the Hungarian government has a completely different view on that. Can you just expand on how Hungary views migration?
Well, you know, we have a serious debate with some of our Western friends who put it forward like that migration is by definition good. Migration by definition is the best thing that could happen to humanity. No, we don't agree with that. Migration poses a huge security risk, and instead of encouraging people to leave their homes and come to Europe, we should help them to be able to stay at home under safe and secure circumstances. So there's a false context which has been built, and this false context says migration is a fundamental human right. No, migration is not a fundamental human right. It's not a fundamental human right to pick a country where you would like to live in and then get there by violating series of borders. It's not a fundamental human right to pick United States where I want to live. It's not a fundamental human right to pick Germany where I want to live. But it is a fundamental human right, though, to have a safe and secure life at home. So that's why I think instead of encouraging people to get on the move and instead of encouraging people to take the life hazard to go some other places than where they live, we should make it possible that they stay either at home under safe and secure circumstances, or if they have to leave their homes because of security issues, then they could stay as close to their homes as it is just possible. Because that makes it possible that if the conflicts are over in their homes, they can return. We have to speak honestly. All those migrants who came to Europe, they will never return back to homes regardless of how the situation evolves there.
What's your advice to give to Americans seeking to control their own borders?
Well, you know, I think it would be too much if I myself, as a foreign minister of a small Central European country, would give advice to the United States in any form. But what I can tell you is that we made a very clear decision that we protect our border in a way that we have full control. And we understood that if you have a land border, multiple hundreds of kilometers long, not as long as yours with Mexico, but long enough from Central European perspective, if you don't build a safe or let's say strong and effective infrastructure, you are not able to control that fully. So we built an infrastructure, a fence. We have the military there, we have the police there, and we are very, very strict on holding everybody out who want to come illegally.
How much pressure is Hungary facing from the EU over these migrant quotas?
A very serious pressure. not only Hungary, but the 4 Central European countries. We are very united in this regard. Poland, Czech Republic, Slovakia and Hungary. We made it very clear that we don't accept any kind of quotas, because we will never give up our own right to make the decision on our own whom we allow to come to Hungary, Slovakia, Czech Republic or Poland. Only us. It's only us who have the right to make that sovereign decision. And you know what? The other big problem here is that the quota system is kind of translated in the mindset of all those people who want to come to Europe as an invitation. Because they understand that, wow, I go to the European Union, I will be distributed. And that basically helps the business model of the smugglers to be successful. Because until these people think that they will be, or they would be, redistributed or relocated among European countries, you know, they pay for the smugglers to bring them to Europe. But as soon as we say, no, the only way to come to Europe is the legal way, and we regain the ability to control the external border, and we establish hotspots outside of the European Union where the decision is made whether you are eligible for asylum status, I'm pretty sure that the influx will decrease very significantly. The problem is that the European leaders only do speak about the necessity of protection of external borders. They only speak about the possibility to establish hotspots outside of the territory of EU, but nothing really happens in this regard. We are the only ones, the Central Europeans, who have been representing exactly the same kind of position since 2015, when the first signals or the first influx of the migration wave have happened.